Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the lemon calcite. Group 2 is the shungite. And group 3 is the Unakite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the lemon calcite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. Let's see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self for Group 1? Okay, and they say, I speak to you through music, so you could be hearing songs that remind you of this person, maybe a song that is significant to your connection. Messages from their higher self coming through in song lyrics. This can also speak to somebody who is listening to music kind of as a form of escapism from what's going on in their material world currently, kind of drifting off into that sanctuary within. Putting on the headphones and just kind of escaping all the concerns of their day-to-day reality. A lot of nostalgia, thinking back on the time spent between the both of you. Maybe you went to some kind of a concert or a music festival that was very significant, and this person is thinking back on memories of that and the good times that you shared together. And they also say, I love you beyond bounds. So again, that energy of nostalgia and really thinking about the good times you shared. Missing you especially at this time. This could be close to some kind of a significant birthday or an anniversary, maybe a time of year where you shared a significant experience together, maybe some kind of a music festival that you went to, and kind of the time of year that occurred. This is that anniversary of that, or this is the time of year when you spent a lot of significant time with them. So these memories are kind of flooding back to this person at this time, and with that nostalgia, it feels like there's a lot of regret as well for maybe some things that were said or done, or sort of the circumstances that you find yourselves in, with communication being strained, limited, or non-existent between the two of you at this time. And they also say, with you, I've always felt free. So this person could have definitely been drawn to the fact that they felt very seen by you, very encouraged to step into this authenticity, very accepted for who they are, really being able to see beyond the facades or the masks or kind of the projections that this person had displayed. And this could have been something that really allured them in the past, really set this connection apart, made you feel very unique to them. And at the same time, this could have been very overwhelming, kind of that feeling of exposure. This person really not being used to being accepted for who they are, maybe feeling this need to water themselves down in order to fit others' expectations, or kind of play down on some qualities or aspects of themselves that they may have been ridiculed or chastised for before, maybe issues with their personality or just aspects of their interest, ways of relating to people. And so this feels like somebody who has really been accustomed to kind of hiding their authentic self inside, sort of with that idea of kind of putting on the headphones and escaping into the music. Somebody who really has a very rich internal landscape that's quite a contrast from whatever it is that they have filled themselves with in their material world, and sort of the image that they portray to others that know them, maybe even people that have known them for a long time, only really know a fraction of this person. And with you, there was a sense of depth beyond that, a sense of, even if they didn't really take down those walls or sort of let you peer in very far behind the mask that they wear, this presentation that they depict to others, there was a sense of comfort and a sense of knowing that if anyone could really understand and accept and relate to the true them, it would be you. So let me get some more messages for you, group 1, from this person. Okay, and they say, I started to fear how much I felt I needed you. So that's that energy of kind of this allure, this pull, this desire to let their authentic self shine through, the sense of knowing and comfort that they felt around you, and this being very alluring for them, but also very frightening at the same time. Somebody who really is not accustomed to letting their authenticity shine out, or is really not accustomed to being accepted for who they are. This kind of desire for change and to step into that truth of their soul that they may have felt while with you, or something that really inspired them about the way that you carry yourself, the way that you speak your truth, you embody that truth, you walk your talk. And this could be something that really encouraged them and kind of enticed them to step beyond that comfort zone in their own way, but at the same time then triggered some of those fears of vulnerability, or that feeling of being very exposed, and exposing themselves potentially to even potential rejection in the future by you. Kind of this sense of, they let you in too close, you might not like what you see. And so the more that they were being drawn to do that, it kind of triggered this defense mechanism to retreat instead, to go back in the shell and kind of push you in the connection away. And they also say, I pull tarot cards and ask about us. So your person could do some kind of divination, maybe has taken up this technique. This can be somebody who has gotten a reading about you, or is even watching tarot readings online, maybe even pickacard readings. You two could be watching the same readers, the same channel, kind of both on that journey of seeking to really kind of connect and kind of peer in beyond any kind of silence or facade to sort of tap into that higher self and get these messages. This is definitely somebody who is also really in this period of questioning, this urge that they have to step beyond that comfort zone, to walk through that fire of fear in order to really rebirth themselves in a more authentic manner. And so this person could also really be seeking signs, seeking guidance, seeking their intuition, or some kind of confirmation from their spirit team, their spirit guides, their higher self, about if it is safe to do this, if it is safe to open up their heart to you, if the time is right, asking for some guidance, or even praying about this situation, this connection, wanting to move forward, wanting to move beyond the circumstances that you find yourselves, but really not being clear or confident on the best way to do that, and if the time is right to approach and to take a chance. And they also say, I can feel your love all around me. So a deep empathic bond that you and this person share. They feel very comforted by you, very nurtured by you in the distance and the separation, maybe even a period of time since you last spoke to this person. And they're still feeling your energy just infused within them, seeing signs of you all around them, these constant reminders, even that energy of nostalgia coming through, maybe with music or songs that they're hearing, or a significant kind of time of year, anniversary, birthday, something that is really bringing them back, bringing up that kind of air of nostalgia, these happy memories, these thoughts, and with that a lot of melancholy about the circumstances that you now find yourselves in. And there's this desire to, again, kind of step through that fire of fear, armed with the energy of love, to move toward this connection, and most importantly, to step out from behind the walls and the masks and the barriers that they may have put up around themselves, to kind of cloister themselves off from others, not allowing others to really see who they are. Kind of somebody who maybe has a little bit of people pleasing or codependency, kind of this need for acceptance. And in the past, the ways in which that authenticity was kind of rejected or ridiculed, it may have caused them to kind of build up this persona or this facade. But that higher self, their soul, is really urging them to leave that behind, to step out into the light, to speak their truth, whether people accept this or not. Kind of that idea of those who, when you speak your truth, and those who sort of fall away or kind of pushed away, those are the ones that are not meant with you to continue with you on the next phase of your journey. The people that mind don't matter, and the ones that matter won't mind. And so your person feels that they are kind of coming to this conclusion that those who genuinely have their best interest at heart will really accept them for more of an authentic and kind of full version of themselves that is expressed, as opposed to this watered down version of this person, this facade or this mask, this image that they have tried to portray. And so they may be experiencing people around them or things kind of falling away the more that they are stepping out into that truth, into that authenticity. But they're also kind of experiencing the opposite of that, the strengthening of bonds between those that really have their best interest at heart, being able to decipher kind of the wheat from the chaff in this circumstance. People that are only there for what this person can provide, who they depict themselves to be, versus those who really understand and love and accept this person for who they are at the heart and soul of themselves. So I'm going to get a few more messages from this person for you. Group 1, what do they want to say? All right, and they say your mind excites me. So they could be thinking back on conversations that you had, discussions that you've had, somebody who looks at you as very wise, really values your opinion, values the time that you shared together, and, even discussions or debates, the exchange of ideas that have occurred between the both of you. Maybe even some things that you said to this person in the past that were really seeds planted that may have appeared to fall on deaf ears, but have now germinated or are being reconsidered by this person, or kind of these reminders that are coming back up that are putting them more in that energy of nostalgia and kind of wanting to find a way beyond the walls and the facades to enter back into that harmony with you and this closeness that you once shared. And they also say, I'm so sorry for hurting you. The distance between us is killing me. So that energy of kind of nostalgia and regret, missing the good times that you shared, wanting to find a way to kind of get back there, understanding that, it may take some work on their part, some change, some demonstrations of change, as opposed to just words and intent of change, that it's going to require sort of a revamping of this person's energy, kind of a recalibration and upgrade. A lot more authenticity is going to be required than just sort of the glimmer of that you may have seen before. And in order to not just come out from behind these walls within themselves, but to kind of break down those barriers between the both of you, that this may take some work and time in order to really get back into kind of the orbit of or the vibration of harmony that you once were both in. And they also say, I'm finding a way to be comfortable in my own skin. So yeah, that was coming up very heavily, this kind of journey of authenticity, this person learning to love and accept themselves, kind of shadows, flaws, and all. Learning to kind of discontinue this mask, this facade, this need to people please. And that need could have also been something that really sort of put you both at a distance in the past. There could be a lot of differences between you, or kind of this energy of opposites attract, or something about the way in which you carry yourself, which you live your life, which you speak your truth, and they weren't really certain how that would fit in or be accepted by others in their world, maybe some kind of cultural difference or religious difference, to where kind of a decision to run from this connection or to push you away was really motivated by sort of the opinions of others or the perception of that. And so this really speaks to this metamorphosis happening within this person, this journey within to uncover the truth that resonates with them, not what others have told them is the right way, is the correct way, as the proper way to be, but somebody who is really taking the time to kind of do this inventory of relationships in their life, belief systems, behaviors that they have, traits and characteristics that they have either nurtured or suppressed within themselves, and kind of somebody who's in this process of metamorphosis, going through some kind of an upgrade internally, some kind of clarity coming to this person about changes in experiences that they wish to have, and also this nostalgia, this kind of missing the times that you shared, and trying to strategize a way back to you. And it seems that the answer they are coming up with is that it's a change, it's a journey that begins from within. It's a process of really stepping into that authenticity, letting their light shine unapologetically, and it is through that kind of elevated vibration, emanating that out, being that beacon for others, for those that, can resonate with them on that authentic level to make their way in, and those that, are not in alignment with that to kind of fall away from their life. So this process of kind of upgrading, of leveling up, and this person, even just energetically, some of them may be pulling tarot cards, or even watching you from afar, but I feel just in a lot of ways checking in energetically with you, using your energy and the way that you live your life, the vibration that you are, striving for and that you seek to maintain, that really being an inspiration vibrationally for this person, of kind of some goals that they have, a state that they hope to reach and to attain and maintain in their life. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 1, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have G, B, W, U, H, I, M, D, C, S, X, and Y. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Shungite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. Let's see, what does your person want to tell you from their higher self for Group 2? Okay, and they say, my darkness got the better of me, so I ran. So definitely could be kind of a runner-chaser situation, somebody who ghosted you, somebody who is blocked off this connection, even somebody who you may have sensed was energetically kind of re-entering your orbit after a period of kind of cold or winter, or sort of a stalemate energy between the both of you. And they came in even energetically, very hot and heavy, a lot of intensity there, only to suddenly have the brakes put on and kind of that coldness return very abruptly. And so this can really be an indication that, what you were feeling and experiencing through that was definitely mirrored by this person. It was experienced by this person, perhaps even consciously directed energy in your direction. And something about the intensity, maybe kind of the increase in telepathy or the sensations, even kind of some upgrades or downloads that happened that were really sparked and triggered, something within the chakra system, maybe even the kind of lower chakras in the third eye chakra that really activated when there was this conscious effort to tap back into you. It may have been very enticing, very uplifting, and that at some point got very overwhelming to this person. Maybe some other circumstances in their life have come up recently to where they've had to kind of withdraw and sort of turn off their investment, their attention and focus on manifesting a new opportunity with you, or leaning more into this connection. So some fear holding them back, and this can also really talk about kind of that initial period of separation that the both of you went into, sort of these shadows coming up, feelings of unworthiness of love, or a fear of love and vulnerability, maybe even a fear of commitment. And as the intensity and momentum was building between the two of you, it really set off some alarm bells for this person that the closer they were getting to you and the more they were opening up their heart, the more they might have also been opening themselves up to the potential of disappointment and loss in the future. And they also say, you are always on my mind and in my heart as I fall asleep. So you could be dreaming about this person a lot, meeting with them on the astral realm. These dreams could have, you could have started dreaming about them again for the first time in a while, or some pretty significant and profound dreams, intense dreams where you wake up and you feel them with you, feel their energy kind of all around you for the rest of the day. This can also really talk about, with that reference to being on their mind, the telepathy that has increased or has really started again between you and this person. Almost the sense too of them really maybe tapping in energetically to sort of feel things out between you as they are contemplating making an approach in the 3D, but wanting to kind of test those waters first to see sort of where you're at, how receptive you are to the idea of them, or even just energetically to kind of feel into and investigate where your priorities are at this point in time. How, again, receptive you are to this connection, and really maybe some clarity that has come to them about aspects and elements of this connection, sort of that telepathy, that energetic bond, that empathic bond that they may have really denied or chosen to kind of ignore before, that is starting to make sense to them. So there's a revisiting energy here as well, where some clarity has come, some resonance has come, maybe some information that has come to light for this person, some kind of an epiphany, a download, a dream which has happened, or some information that they've come across to where they're resonating with this idea of soulmates or twin flames. And kind of as that sort of spark, that aha moment, that clarity comes for them, then there was this energy of seeking, wanting to kind of revisit the connection, tap back into that, armed with this new knowledge and this awareness, to kind of feel into that and experience that energy from a new perspective. And they also say, I'm trusting the universe. Please be patient with me. So again, that kind of energy of upgrades and downloads happening, these epiphanies, somebody who's getting in touch with their higher self, who's really cultivating the spiritual aspects of themselves. Maybe somebody who has recently cultivated a spiritual practice, or is engaging in meditation, in trying to do some kind of deep shadow work, some healing from the inside out. Somebody who is really starting to recognize themselves as existing beyond just the 3D material plane. And so in this process of becoming, of really surrendering to this connection and to the idea of themselves as a much more magnificent being, energetically speaking, than they may have even perceived themselves to be previously, that this is all kind of a work in progress. A lot of excitement and eagerness on this person's part, but then they almost reach this block or this wall where they get very overwhelmed and need to pull back. And all of that is part of that process of becoming, sort of stepping forth with bravery and courage, encountering these kind of gatekeepers of fear, and then having to kind of retreat, process that, plan a way forward, and then launch that endeavor to kind of move through that. And so that can be definitely kind of an arduous process, sort of a step-by-step phase, kind of one step forward, two steps back. But this does feel like somebody who may have moved out of that energy of stagnancy or denial, and there's something starting to kind of take place and brew beneath the surface within this person, and that you might energetically be sensing in various ways in this connection. So let me get a few more messages from this person. Group 2, what do they want to say? Okay, and they say the timing still isn't quite right. So another confirmation of that, where they're trusting in the universe and divine timing, some other cycles needing to play out for this person, some other realizations that they are needing to really come to. As much as you may kind of feel this hot and cold energy, this intensity, and then this withdrawal from this person as they are leaning more into this, they're surrendering more into that. But it's taking time in order to really acclimate to that kind of level of upgrade, to where they're still kind of a work in progress. I mean, everyone to some degree is constantly a work in progress, but on some level, there's a lot that needs to develop within this person, and that is developing in terms of their sense of their spiritual self, their perception of energy, the perception of this connection, some experiences that they are having, maybe in terms of some psychic gifts that are activating, some healing work that they are doing, kind of that shadow work, sort of excavating the root of some pain that they've been carrying around, some wounds, in order to really extract that from the most base level, and to kind of reintegrate within themselves some healthier mechanisms, coping mechanisms, or skills and insight about themselves. So a lot happening behind the scenes with this person, this process of metamorphosis and transformation. But with that comes this ability and this interest in leaning more into this connection, investing more in this connection than they may have previously been able or willing to. And they also say, you are my muse. So they could be looking to you in the 3D sense for some direction and guidance about the healing journey that you have been on. It's really a form of inspiration for them. If you have some kind of a platform and maybe the ideas that you're talking about, or anything with your journey, or just some things that you're focusing on, even just the way in which your aura and your energy has changed, and you've got this vibrant glow kind of emanating from the inside out. This person really looking to that as a source of inspiration, wanting to emulate that, asking for guidance, seeking answers, finding direction on how to kind of achieve that within themselves. This can also be somebody who, if you don't have a social media presence, or even above and beyond that, is definitely tapping into your energy, really feeling into that, as a source of inspiration, and kind of to check in, almost like a map check, for how they're doing, for what's happening within themselves, for some things even tapping in that are triggered then, that kind of send them within, some shadows that are coming up, that's kind of a direction, a point in the right direction of like, this is the next thing that needs to be worked on, this is another layer of this healing, or something unresolved within them. So the two of you are definitely co-creating this process of ascension for each other, and I feel that this person very consciously at this point in time is endeavoring to do this. And for a large part of your journey, you also were co-creating with this person. I feel a lot of this, it may have felt that you were very much alone in that endeavor, very much stranded and isolated, but for the higher self of this person has been with you, kind of guiding you, nudging you, and encouraging you along that process as well. And they also say, have you already moved on? So this can again be that energy of somebody who's checking in with you, looking you up online, tapping into you energetically, to just kind of feel where you are on your ascension journey, where you are on your life. Some clarity and realization has come to them, and they're kind of moved out of this energy of pushing this away, denying this, running from this. And there's this aspect of surrender and kind of piqued or reignited interest in you in this connection. So I'm going to get the last 3 messages for you now, group 2, from this person. What do you want to say? Okay, and they say, I have a tendency to F things up. So that's that reference to their darkness that got the better of them. Kind of some energies of self-sabotage, maybe kind of fearing intimacy, feeling that they aren't good enough. Even this kind of energy that they are a work in progress and they're sensing that the time isn't right. This person could still be kind of coming to that understanding that the journey of healing, it's a never-ending journey. Once that kind of process begins, there's always a new layer. There's always something new to address. The time will never be quite right. It's not like there's a destination or an end point. And so they're in this process of learning to really flow through that, learning to really exist in this space of dynamic change as opposed to kind of static destinations. And they also say, I fear rejection. So that could have been specifically one of those triggers that has come up in the past. Maybe this fear of intimacy, fear of letting you in too close, only to have you not like what it is you see on the other side of that. And so it was easier for this person to just kind of push this away, deny their feelings and suppress their feelings rather than open themselves up to kind of that wish fulfillment fading away in time. And this can also really talk about kind of this hesitancy that this person has at this point to make any sort of concrete action in the 3D, that it's limited at this point to kind of tapping in energetically, because there is still this gatekeeper of fear, this fear of rejection that's holding them back, feeling that they haven't done enough of that work on themselves, they haven't healed enough, maybe really comparing themselves to you, looking at your life and your journey and where your path has led you and feeling that they are in some way inadequate, they don't have much to offer you or anything of substance that would generate a new beginning, a new opportunity between the both of you. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So that's more of that energy of them asking you to please be patient with them, expressing here that they are working on themselves. It's a slow journey, lots of twists and turns. It almost feels like the energy of a labyrinth that they are moving through, where the way clear isn't always known. They could be coming across a lot of dead ends, a lot of closed doors, and then unexpected windows opening for them. So the journey within self, they definitely have embarked upon this. This is somebody who is in that process of transformation, and kind of what you're sensing and feeling perhaps in terms of this energy, the increase in telepathy, feeling them around you, meeting with you in dreams. All of this can be taken then as signs or confirmations that there is something happening. There's momentum happening. There's movement happening. Almost this idea as well is the more you work on yourself and you step into that authenticity, maintain and embody that vibration of self-love, it has sent a signal to this person that has kind of woken them up. This feels like somebody who has finally gotten on track or is finally started doing some work on themselves that they may have kind of suppressed or denied or kind of pushed away or swept under the carpet for some time. Some kind of a reckoning or an awakening has happened for them, maybe through some kind of divine intervention or even other circumstances in their life that have occurred, kind of the energy of tables turning, something being mirrored to them to where they were able to actually walk in your shoes, feel what you felt. Some kind of a greater understanding or awareness has come to them that has kind of reignited this curiosity, put something into perspective for them, and is generating this motivation within them to make these changes within themselves, both for themselves and also for the possibility of kind of reaching that point where they are at a vibrational level of being able to kind of meet you on your level and also be able to offer something of substance toward a new beginning or reconciliation with you. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we have Y, J, B, K, W, A M I L O E T and H. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Unakite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. Let's see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self for group 3? Okay, and they say, I miss your touch. So definitely some energy of nostalgia here if you're in separation or no contact with this person. You could be feeling kind of an influx of their energy again as they are, sending you these very loving thoughts as they're thinking back and reminiscing on the times shared together with a sense of yearning and a sense of longing. This can also really talk about kind of missing being in touch with you if communication is blocked. Maybe you've changed your number, or they're just kind of stopped on the precipice of reaching out to you, of making that contact, of getting in touch with you, kind of lingering in this energy of just sort of wishful thinking, maybe a little bit of self-defeatism going on there, kind of this fear of rejection or things that might have been said or done in the past, not really being sure if your heart is open to them, trying to kind of strategize a way to touch your heart, to really touch upon sort of those happy memories that you shared and hopefully get you to give them another chance or another opportunity to open the door to this connection again or rebuild upon a foundation that you once shared. And they also say, you have always inspired me. So this feels like somebody who is kind of your biggest fan, somebody who may be kind of watching you from a distance as well. If you have social media, some kind of platform even, this could be one of your followers, one of your subscribers, maybe even through some kind of a fake account, somehow masking themselves or kind of just silently sitting there watching you, watching from the wings, applauding you energetically as well for the changes that you have created in your life, ways in which you are really living your dreams. You're really standing in that truth and authenticity. This is something that's really entering them into that realm of nostalgia where they may have really taken you for granted or overlooked something about this connection, the potential in you or in this connection, maybe some difficult times that you were going through that this person, instead of acting as a support system for you in those times, really kind of pulled away, were very overwhelmed by that, or didn't really know how to hold space for you through the changes that you were going through. And kind of the only thing they knew how to do was sort of run from that intensity, run from kind of the tumultuousness or the chaos that may have been going on. And so there's this sense of regret. Now that you have really become that phoenix from the ashes, you've kind of risen out of those obstacles, you really have triumphed over that adversity. And so this person is definitely inspired by you to also do some work on themselves, some things they may have been avoiding for some time, really suppressing, seeking to distract themselves with, or to deflect, really stuffing down and just kind of holding within some baggage from the past that they've been carrying, even as it pertains to heartbreaks of the past, and really looking to you, or even just feeling energetically into the way in which you've shifted your vibration, that this is really motivating this person to take some action, to move out of that state of almost self-pity and nostalgia and longing into action, into creating a plan forward, into, taking that chance, starting that very difficult and perhaps arduous journey of self-evaluation, and really seeking to kind of heal and move beyond and transcend things that may have been perceived as limitations to them in their life. And they also say, you're the only one who has ever truly listened to me. So this person definitely felt seen and heard by you. This could be a deeply empathic connection where you were able to really perceive beyond the words that were said, even beyond the silence, feeling into this person energetically, and them really missing this ability that you had to just say the right thing, or to give them space, or to give them a hug, just whatever it is that they needed, really anticipating those needs and what their soul was needing without them having to ask. Somebody who really could not be good with emotional expression, really kind of shrunk away from that vulnerability, or didn't really know how to put to words the feelings that they were having. And yet with the connection with you, somehow their needs were responded to, their needs were honored, their needs were met. This could also be somebody who is really used to kind of people pleasing or some codependent energy, really living according to other people's expectations, following a plan that others have dictated for them as the correct and the right way to success, or expectations maybe that a family has placed upon them, a culture or a religion, not taking into account what they as the individual want, what resonates with them, what does truth and success and happiness and kind of the right and correct way to live, what does that mean for them individually? And so they may have experienced with you, even if if these were things or themes that you hadn't directly discussed, but there was this sense of acceptance, to where when the idea of kind of coming out of that shell, kind of stepping out of the shadow of other people perhaps, or kind of deviating from that programming or that pattern that was templated for them, that expectation of, these are the things you must do, this is what your life must look like. Maybe again, kind of, it's coming through heavily, some kind of an expectation that family has placed upon them, maybe some kind of legacy or family business, or kind of a lineage, something that other people, following in each other's footsteps, and this desire that this person had to maybe break away from that, branch away from that. And there was a sense really with you of, if anyone could understand that need for freedom, that need for self-liberation, it would be you. That you could have been somebody who really recognized some of these qualities about this person that others had kind of ignored or hadn't really encouraged. And so there's this sense of nostalgia and missing somebody who could have in turn been that cheerleader for them. Really seeing you as somebody who wanted the best for them, accepted them fully as they are, kind of flaws and all, and kind of with the absence of you in their life, they're being made acutely aware of kind of the gap, the distance between what they had with you even energetically versus what they are experiencing currently with others in their life. So let me get some more messages for you, group 3, from this person. What do they want to say? Okay, and they say hearing your name is a double-edged sword. So a lot of nostalgia and warm, beautiful feelings that they have, and also this sting of regret over what occurred in the past, maybe ways in which they took you for granted, or this connection for granted, didn't choose you, didn't see the value in this, the potential in this. Maybe they're reminded of ways in which they abandoned you, kind of at your darkest hour, and just sort of moved forward with what was safe and comfortable and known, or wanted to kind of distance themselves from that potential chaos that was going on, or that uncertainty, or those changes. And now that you've kind of come out the other side, and I feel even before that, this feels like somebody who, once that decision was made, it was almost this immediate sense of regret, of shame that they may have had for kind of abandoning you, for sort of leaving you, for not fulfilling their part of the bargain in terms of perhaps a soul contract between the two of you prior to this incarnation, or even promises that they had made to you in this lifetime to be there for you, to support you unconditionally, to have your best interest at heart. And when it came time to really put those words to the test, this person almost feels that they failed in that sense. They took the easy way out, the safer route, something that was more comfortable and less kind of disruptive to their life. So they could also be getting signs about you, seeing your name everywhere, the universe kind of reminding them, bringing this back to their attention as kind of something unresolved, kind of a loose end, or a statement that's left unfinished, the story that still has more to write in it, where this person is understanding that eventually they need to kind of move beyond just that energy of regret, that change is necessary, change is possible. And through that energy also of inspiration, these reminders, this pain is really triggering this person to kind of pick up the pace, get some momentum, to make some change, to move out of that very stuck and kind of difficult energy that they are in. And they also say, I was afraid of what others might think. So that is more of that energy of kind of people pleasing, codependency, maybe some situations that were happening in your life personally that this person didn't want to embroil themselves in, didn't want to be associated with, that was kind of fearing what that would do to their reputation or what others would think. Maybe some circumstances about kind of the nature of your connection. Maybe one or both of you was in another relationship or was married, and there was this fear that this person had, instead of kind of following their heart, this fear of being judged or what that might look like to others. Also some kind of family, cultural, or religious expectation that kind of caused them to sort of close the door on this connection, to push this away, to not really follow through on promises made prior to this incarnation or even in this lifetime. And we also have, I started to fear how much I felt I needed you. So as they were opening up to this idea of vulnerability, of really taking a chance, stepping into that authenticity, and as good as that felt, as pure as that felt, this kind of liberation from within, there was also this fear, kind of the ego creeping up to remind them that they were exiting their comfort zone, and kind of encouraging them to step back into that, to what was known, what was comfortable, despite how much that might have not been in alignment with the truth of their soul. And so this person having made this choice to choose fear over love in this case, and it's something which, again, a decision that I feel they've been filled with regret since the moment that decision was made. But there could be kind of an increase in circumstances, maybe synchronicities, maybe they've seen you, maybe they have heard about what's going on in your life, or they've run into somebody you know mutually, or just in some way you've come back into this person's awareness and what they're seeing, the change that they're seeing, how you really have become that phoenix from the ashes. You've really rebuilt yourself. You stepped into that best version of self. It's filling them with the sense of regret for kind of being on the outside of your life looking in at this point. So I'm going to get the final 3 messages for you, group 3, from this person. What do they want to say? Okay, and they say, I miss your warmth. So that's more of that confirmation energy about missing your touch, missing being in the proximity to you, kind of just left with these memories, these kind of experiences, a connection that's kind of gone cold. So it could have been a lot of time that has passed since you were last in contact with this person, since they were, on the same page with you. And now there's this sense again of nostalgia and coming back around, really missing the times, the opportunity that they had, that they chose not to embrace or to nurture, to really build something and experience something that would infuse them with joy and with a sense of value, a sense of purpose, a sense of being seen and safe to express themselves in that authenticity. And they also say, I want to feel your hand in mine. So more of that energy of touch, missing the intimacy between the both of you, hugs, hand holding, kisses, all of these things. Even if this is somebody that you never really had that kind of relationship with, that it was just kind of left on the precipice of feeling spoken, but that we're always held back on. There's this sense of really missing that precipice, of wishing that they could go back to that, taking the opportunity to just reach out and hold your hand, comfort you through some difficulties, really be there with you, stand by you through kind of the dark night of your soul, the challenges and obstacles that you faced alone and were able to overcome without this person by your side, and perhaps even that were sort of enhanced or increased by this person kind of, and any sort of abandonment that occurred as well. And this is also really this energy here of this desire to return to your life, to try to find a way in, try to find a way back into your heart, into your good graces. Somebody who wants to make a reappearance or a reemergence in your physical life outside of the realm of energetically, tapping back in and feeling them around you, but somebody who also may be kind of hoping or anticipating, trying to plan if they can run into you out somewhere, or just as they're out and about, maybe with others, just kind of looking around, hoping to see your face in the crowd, hoping that the universe will align the two of your paths again one day, so that apologies that may be due are able to be delivered, and that hopefully there can be kind of this re-spark of the bond between the both of you. And they also say, I want you here with me. So again, this desire for this reunion, coming back together, not just energetically, but this person really wants you back in their life. They want to be part of your life. Not really sure how to get there, recognizing that, they may have again abandoned you, or really kind of pushed this connection away, gone against the call of their soul in the interest of kind of pleasing other people, or kind of responding with fear rather than love. And so this feels like somebody who doesn't exactly see a way forward. They may be kind of turning to the divine, praying about this, asking for guidance, trying to manifest something back in through intentions, maybe vision boards, or some kind of a technique where they're really just, they're hoping for that chance. They're hoping just for that opportunity to say the things that they hadn't said before, or to make another decision at this point in time. This does feel like somebody who may be very much wrapped up in the energy of nostalgia, where they're not so much focused on creating a new opportunity, but still could be really dwelling on that energy of wishing that they had done things differently, kind of focused on the past with this kind of need or this urge to sort of leave that behind and concentrate on what they can create, what they can accomplish going forward, what can be learned from this situation going forward, and kind of in this process, or right at that doorway of trying to kind of figure out a way beyond sort of this feeling of kind of being trapped in the coldness of times that have long since passed. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 3. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. All right, so we have E, N, A, W, G, L, M, R, X, Z, U, S, J, F, and O. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.